I have my dashboard here, and the first tab that I have is my churn analysis. You'll notice at the top, I have my metrics that are important to me. So I have information about the number of policies, the premium and incurred loss that we have associated with those policies, changes year over year in premiums. And then I have information about the policies that are predicted to churn. So everything you see in this view represents those policies that are at risk for attrition. And you'll notice on my map here that essentially it's showing me the counts of those folks who are likely to churn visually. And I can hone in on any one of these counties here and get some information. So for example, Carbon County in Pennsylvania is a dark blue. That's telling me that that's a hot spot for churn. And I can see how much loss associated. So we have some loss information kind of tagged to this. I can see that it's responsible for quite a bit of loss in the last 5 years for us. I can also go over and look at the county information in my table here on the right-hand side. So for Carbon County, I can see that the average loss ratio is actually pretty high. It's over 70%, so that's certainly problematic. So these folks who are likely to churn, there must be something here that's driving that information. So let's look a little bit more deeply at some of the key drivers here. So I can see that from an age perspective, we have some of the younger folks who are more at risk for churn as well. The 24 and under have a high likelihood of churning. I also might want to take a look at some of the other age brackets to see from a loss ratio standpoint where I might want to focus on. So for example, we have folks who are in the 25 to 39 age bracket who are at risk to churn, who are just under our threshold for kind of the problematic loss ratios, but there might be something there that we can recover. Maybe we need to make some adjustments. We can get people back on track and prevent their churn. Let's go ahead and look over at our heat map. So this heat map is looking at the predicted churn by marital status, as well as we're looking at our loss incurred, as well as premium changes year over year. And what I'm looking for in the heat map is where the color is darker. That's where I want to pay attention to. And what I can see here is that I have my married folks who are predicted to cancel. Their losses over the last 5 years have been fairly large, over 38 million, and their premium changes have averaged almost 32%. So that could be a key driver for why those folks might attrit. Their premiums might just be too high, so they're going to look to move on. So we can dig into the details on any one of these visualizations, and let's go ahead and do that. Let's actually drill through so I can look at a detailed report that gives me information down at the individual policy level. So now I have a detailed report, and we're looking specifically at our churn information, and I can do some filtering here. I can filter by date if I'd like to. I can select from the first of the year through today or a different time period. I can look at a specific age group. So right now we're looking at the 40 to 55 because I clicked on the heat map for this age group. What if I also looked at a specific location? So maybe I want to look at just the folks in Pennsylvania. So this is all of the individuals in Pennsylvania, and we'll look at those folks who are predicted to cancel as well. Okay. So we'll apply our filters. Now I have a nice report that shows me at the individual policy level information about the policyholders who are at risk for churn. And so from an operational standpoint, I can have someone on the front line who has access to some of this information to say, you know what, a specific individual has a high risk for churn. Let me make an offer that makes sense for them. Maybe it is a premium reduction to get them back on board. All right. Let's move back up to our dashboard.